Hi there, in this video we're going to be creating a decorative hut or house. This one is just to look at, you don't go in it or anything. Um, let's start off by calling up a polygon cube, and we're going to be doing stuff to this one. So let's add some subdivisions to it. There. There, and we'll leave this one here, and I'll show you why. So this will allow us to put in a door. There's the door. Now we need one more. Nope, not that way. This one. All right, so we're looking at 5, 4, 2. That sounds pretty good. All right. By the way, you don't have to do this. You can subdivide it and stuff. So keep in mind when we're doing this, this is just like building the loot crate that we built. It's just a little bit bigger. All right, so first thing we want to do is get this to scale. And it's hard to tell what the scale is for like a normal person. So if you go over here to Windows um, Content Browser, and you wait a half hour apparently. Take a sip of coffee, chillax. There it is. Okay. And we go over here to modeling. And we can find people somewhere. Animals, bipeds. There we go. So we just need an average dude. So you just click on him and bring him out. And there he is. He's kind of big. So see the grid here, you don't want your stuff to be on the grid. If something comes in and it's huge, like 25 times the grid, that just means that it was created using um, a different set of measurements. And when you combine the two objects made with two separate measurements, it gets kind of confused, and so you get one that's giant. But when you're working modeling, you want the grid to look about this size. So if it comes in big, then shrink it so that you can see. All right, so this still needs to be house size. Right now we're too big. So I'm going to use this as a door. So now it's too small. I think the house is the right size. Let's reduce it a little bit. And then we can move these vertexes up. We need to move these anyway, so it's okay. Right there. Move these ones over a little bit. And now we got a door. So we have a door and a window. So let's straight away just select faces for those two. And extrude them out. And then extrude them again. In a little bit, and then extrude that one in a little bit. Same thing with this one. Done. Our house is finished. No, not really. But you can see kind of how this is going. So we have an opportunity on the backside to do a similar thing. Although this edge we need to bring back into alignment. I had to move it to make the door bigger, these edges. But it needs to be the same width as the other one. So then we just do the same thing on the back. If you don't hit this blue thing, no, it's not going to work. Still going to have to do it individually. And then back and extrude. And then we have windows on the back. So now we have a window on the front and a window on the back. Isn't that exciting? Terribly exciting. Okie dokie. Let's raise the roof. So for this, I'm just going to select the top. I want to keep this as my roof trim. Select all the faces on the top. I marqueed select all the top faces, right? So now they're all top, but I still have these ones selected. So if I go back here and deselect the lower ones, but not the top ones, it's an easy way of selecting faces. Okay, raise that up a little tiny bit. Perfect. Now let's select these edges. And then move those up. We'll have a pointy roof. But see, we've created a weird polygonal shape. Let's see, do I want to put a cut across there or do I want to leave it? So many different ways to go. What I'm going to do is select these vertexes, bring them out a little bit so there's a slight overhang. Like that. Bring this all down a little bit. I'm going to select these faces in here. Bring them out a little bit. Still need to extend this a little bit out so that it gives a lip of a roof. When you're building stuff in Maya, you want to kind of keep to actual construction things. So if you have construction chops, you're way ahead of the game. Because then you can actually build it and say, oh no, that needs to be a 3/4 pick-me flange or something. I'm just going to bring these out to the angle there like that. It's cleaner modeling. So I need to move this one out still. I'm not extruding, by the way. I'm just moving it out to give it a lip. I already did my extruding. No trapeze weld. That's what this button is. It's target weld. These things. So you can take a vertex, you click on one, drag it to where you want it to be on top of another vertex, and they become one vertex. It's a good way of cleaning up your geometry. Okay. Exciting. I'm going to select these faces and extrude them. Give it a little decorative bit. Same thing here. So this is very much like building the crate, isn't it? Where you are just grab it, you create geometry pieces that you'd like to have, and then you just grab them and extrude them. And now he's got like a little house. We can scale the house like it's kind of a tiny house. I think it could be a lot big, but we don't want to scale it, right? If we were to just scale the house, then the door becomes too big. So what we need to do here is select the vertexes and stretch it. Yep. Now the window looks a little odd because it's way over here, but we can always go back and cut another window. Let's see that, and probably have to do one here too. So, but that doesn't affect the it doesn't affect the size of the door, which is more important than the size of the whatchamacallit. The size of the house is more important than the size of the door. I'm just gonna bring these over and align them because I like things neat and tidy. Okay, so now we've got kind of a house going on. It's the right size. You know what though? I would like to have windows on the side here, and I'd like a kind of a base. Drag that over. So what I'm going to do is select the bottom. We'll do the base first because it's a little easier. Grab all that. Don't need to grab that one. That's the bottom of the door. And I want to bring it down a step. And I grab the faces. Just striping across the middle. I'm not grabbing the bottom, just this whole band here. And then I'm going to extrude it. Maybe even reduce it a little bit. And then that gives you like a little platform that the house was put on or something. Okay, we're getting there. I would like some extra windows. So what I'm going to do, instead of, I could cut geometry. I could do edge loop, edge loop. Why don't I do that? Interesting. Insert edge loop. And now I have that. It's extra geometry. And I can just extrude it out. Scale in. Extrude in. And then I have my extra front window. Now I didn't do it through the back, but I could easily do it with this one as well. But I can't, it's harder for me to do it here because of all the weird cuts. I'd have to cut sideways to here and then stripe it down. It'd be a weird thing. You don't want to mess with your roof because that's all nice and clean and low poly. So what to do? It's very easy. We're just going to create a box. This box is going to be all just 1, 1, 1. We can do this. We'll size it on the front. This box, I'm trying to make the same size as this other windows. Don't look too close because my windows are all different frame sizes. I wasn't very careful doing that. Okay. So there's the same width. There's the same height. Collapse down. Move it over. So this is sort of can be the same process as the other thing. It's like it's already a box. So we can just grab the face on the front. This one, face. And if you need to, you can also just delete the back panel because you don't really need it. Okay, now we take our other window here and we can rotate it in the Y 90 degrees. And we already know it's the same height. And width as the other ones, so we can just bring it over here so it's on there. If I turn on shading, I would like wireframe. Great. This will help me place it in the middle. Then I can just copy it, put another one there. Copy both of those. Bring them over here. Rotate them another 90 degrees or 180 altogether. No. Always messes me up. Negative 90. There it is. If you're ever unsure about how much to rotate things or what way it should rotate it, just kind of manually rotate it into spot. Like, oh, okay, that's what I want. And then come up here and go, well, I don't want it 88.87. It really needs to be a solid integer. So I just type that in. You're good to go. Okay, they're already perfectly sized, same distance apart. It's good height and stuff. Just tack those on there like that. Great, we're getting there. If you want to, you can make a step. Extrude it out. I think that was the hardest way I possibly could have made a step. Just make a block and stick it there. That'd probably be a lot easier. Such an idiot. I am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we probably don't need all that this underneath here, unless you're lifting it up, unless you're going to see the bottom. Figure it all out. Make sure you don't have anything else selected. Just do it. Great. And then the last thing you would do would be to put materials on it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not exactly true. Because you have several different objects, right? So now we need to combine all the windows that we made with the house. Combine, center the pivot, delete the history, freeze the transforms. It's like a mantra. Oh, we didn't make a doorknob. Well, pretend we made a doorknob. Okay. I'm going to select the entire house first, object, and I'm going to put a material on it. Sorry. That was made. My shootings. There you go. And then I want to go through and select all the windows. Do, 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 do. Actually, I want to do all the window trim and the door all at the same time. So I'm going to select this, deselect that, and that, and that, that, and that, and that. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this, this, and this, and this. I selected way too much. So it's easier to select big and then go little than it is to select little. See, like I deselected these, and now I have to go in and do this, and do this. Okay, so a different material on those. Green. Now I can select the windows, just the planes of glass. Another material on those. This one's blue. I'd be naming these properly too, by the way. I am totally naming these properly, but not right this second. And then the doors, pieces, other material there. And then all the roof panels. Not these, and not these. because it's decorative. Just make sure I have it all selected. We look good. Cool. And then the last thing is the base. We'll put like a concrete material on there or something. Don't ever leave it kind of gray when you're doing this, because it's too hard to tell if you've actually put something on there or not. So always even just change the color a little bit. So like I know that that's not the default gray, that's actually the proper color. Okay, so now, by the way, because this was already, we built this from a cube, it's all going to be mapped pretty well. But of course, we're going to have to put textures on there to make sure that that's true. It may have some glitches. If we were to select this and look at it in the UV editor, yeah, it's still kind of along the same lines as the cube that was unwrapped, so that's great. So the walls and stuff would go on perfect, and it looks like the roof would go on really well. The little windows, however, the new windows, we'd have to, we're going to have to re-UV so that the sides are one thing and the fronts are the other. But all in all, this is ready to add textures to and adjust the mapping, and it is a very fine decorative house. We could have done a skyscraper, we could have gone stores, anything like that. Um, it's if you need to build like a bunch of these, like you're making a neighborhood, then you can build one of these and then change the colors on it and then move the windows around and things like that. But once you have a base, it's very easy to extrapolate your needs from that. Cool. All right, that is decorative hut, house, whatever, decorative building.